Thanks, Alex. Number 16, we need to accept the resignation of Richard Greene, Code Enforcement Officer, effective December 31st, 2007. That's in the form of a motion.
Second.
Ms. Zambrano?
Yes.
Ms. Tarwacki?
Yes.
Mr. Ryback?
Yes.
Mr. Coro?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes, I'd just like to, he's not leaving, he is leaving. He's taking a full-time position, I believe, in Manoa area. And I would just like to thank him for his service. He was a great employee. Number 17, accept the resignation of Jay Seitz, Director of Zoning and Planning, is effective January 11th, 2008. Jay and I have talked about this. He's been talking to me about this for probably 6 months on and off. One day he'd come in and say, I'm leaving. Next day he'd come in and say he wasn't. So I basically told him, Jay, when you make your final decision, grab me, we'll sit down and talk about it over lunch. Well, the other day he did, and I think he's come to the point in time where he just wants to go out fishing more and go to Florida more. He has a place in Florida, and every time it snows, he seems to grumble a little bit more about the snow. So I think that Jay's he's done a good job. I think that there's people out there that may not have agreed with all his decisions. Unfortunately, besides the person that the assessor and the codes enforcement officer are probably the two departments in the town of Cicero that most people basically do not like. They raise your taxes, and when you come in and build something and you don't agree with Jay or whoever in his office, you're a bad guy. So there's a lot of times that Jay got a bad rap on a lot of different things, only because what he did is he enforced the rules of the town of Cicero. Unfortunately, when you didn't agree with him, he was the bad guy. People went home and said whatever they said. I've had the opportunity to work with Jay since I think he came here in about 1994, Jody? Do you have any idea? Is it 94?
94.
I've worked with him since 1994. And there's many times that we've agreed, and there's been many times we've disagreed. And we've had some very colorful conversations between the two of us. But there's one thing we always did, is we always came to the middle, and we've always done what was right for the town of Cicero. So, reluctantly, I tried to talk him out of it over lunch. I even offered to buy him, and that didn't do any good. Jay is going to, as I mentioned, render his resignation in January 11th. He also mentioned to me, if we ever get into a bind in the interim, feel free to call. He hopes that he won't be out in his boat in Florida when it's 80 out. He'll answer the phone. So I agreed to that. So, reluctantly, I would make a motion to accept the resignation of Jay Seitz, effective January 11, 2008.
Second.
Ms. Zambrano?
Yes.
Ms. Tarwacki?
I would have to say no, because we're in a bind. We're gonna be in, there's 2 resignations here in that code's office.
Don't worry,
I'd have to tell him no. I have to stay a while till we like fill the holes.
He's working on that, believe me. He's not leaving us hanging. Believe me, he's not.
He's working.
He's working on it.
Both of us.
All right, then I can vote yes.
Bill Ryback?
And like you, Chad, I've probably knocked heads with him more than,
We all have.
we always come to some kind of resolution, and with regrets, yes.
Mr. Coro?
And also I've had an opportunity to work with him the last 4 years or so, and he's very colorful, and some character, but he's practical also, in many respects, and a lot of his decisions, and knowledgeable, and a lot of good common sense, which the job needs. So, we'll miss that aspect of it, and we'll miss him. So, reluctantly, yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes, and as Jimmy mentioned, the colorful conversations will be missed. Yes.
McDonald's with the wrong place to take him.
What was that?
The McDonald's with the wrong place to take him.
Hey, you get a raise this year.